Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first ever video and I am very much nervous and I feel so awkward, but sometimes we just have to jump into things. So a little bit about me before we get into what I'm doing for the day. I am a mom of 3 very wild children and we homeschool. So that we stay chaotic around here. And this is kind of how I'm starting my morning this morning. We're just, before the babies are up, we're getting things wrote down on the board. We always go over our days of the week. I have small children, all of them 2nd grade and under. And so we're constantly going over days of the week and, months and what the date is and trying to drill that in so that they can learn that and understand that. And then we always do what the weather is like that day. And then we also follow it up with some scripture of the day, which is what you will see here in just a minute. But I always like to try to do this kind of stuff before they get up. And if you are a mom or know anything about being a mom, it doesn't always work out that way. Like sometimes they get up super early and then they're wild and crazy and our days just don't go how we planned, which was definitely what happened today. But we'll get into that more in a little bit. But yeah, we homeschool and I'm also an author. So I spend a lot of time working on books that I've already published and getting things completed with those that I want to achieve. And then I'm also working on my 3rd book of the current series that I'm working on. I do believe that book 3 will be the end of that series. So I'm excited to get all that wrapped up and very appreciative of all of my readers who have enjoyed book 1 and book 2. If you are interested in what I write, I do write psychological thrillers. There's lots of gore in them usually, so if you like that kind of read, then you might want to check mine out. The first book is called What Lurks Within by Courtney Thompson, and that can be found on Amazon in both ebook and paperback. It is also available on KU, and book 2 is currently published. It's only available as ebook and KU right now, but we are working on getting that in paperback soon. Once I got all of that done for this morning, then I started to tidy a little bit. This house is just not my cup of tea. It's definitely not aesthetically pleasing, so you ain't gonna find that around here. I am so sorry. Do you love my current curtain situation? Like, it looks so pretty, right? I have not been able to purchase curtains in a hot minute, and there are so many windows in this house, so literally several of them have blankets over them for the time being because it's just too hot, and when that sun comes in, it raises the temperature in the house and we're just not about it. And as you can see with that curtain over there in front of the bigger window, my dogs got tangled in it and they yanked it pretty good, and so it ripped. So that is just how life is sometimes. It's not perfect and pretty and cookie cutter and aesthetically pleasing 24/7. It's just not. That's not realistic. This was just a house that, the good Lord blessed us with when we needed it. And it fit our needs for the size of our family. And it was within our budget for, what we could rent. And I'm 100% grateful that he brought it into our lives when he did. But I still am not 100% happy with the house that we have. Like, I'm grateful for it, yes, but I have so many issues with this place. It's not even funny. There's And I wish that, we had just we could go free for all and just fix everything. But, this is a rental and I'm not allowed to do that kind of stuff, unfortunately. And we do ask our landlord, to fix things here and there. And of course, he does like the cosmetic, or not the cosmetic, he does like the maintenance type of things. But he doesn't really do much on the cosmetic front, unfortunately. So he has allowed me to paint here and there. So this kitchen has not been blessed with that privilege yet. My living room is currently in the process of having the painting process done. And I did one of the bedrooms. So slowly but surely we are being allowed to paint here and there. Yeah, I couldn't stand this curtain situation any longer. So we took it down today. We're just allowing the sun in this one window for now. But yeah, so we're allowed to make updates here and there when he's okay with it, and that's fine. One of these days we just keep praying. That's all we can do. We keep praying every day that one day we will have a home that is ours, that we can do all the good things with. But for now, this is our home, and I do my very best to make it our home. I decorate how I can. And we are super frugal over here. So, we live on a budget, and it's a pretty tight budget usually. But I still manage to get decor and painting done here and there as I can and as we go. These windows are they're pretty much every single one of them in the entire house. For whatever reason, it's not just the windows, but it's also like the house in general. It just gets so much dust. And I don't know if that's because we live close to like some plants that are in town, like processing plants that are in town. That might have something to do with it. But literally, the dust is such an issue in this house. Like, I have never lived in a house where dust was just this bad. And I'm constantly having to get it off of everything pretty much every single day, or else it gets so bad. And these windows, like around the frames and stuff, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter what time of year it is, they get so much condensation. And like, we live in Arkansas, and so that's always super humid, and I do like to keep my house cooler, especially during the summer, and I don't usually get it too hot in the winter. I mean, I do like to be somewhat warm in the winter, but not just too terribly warm. But for whatever reason, these windows just get so much condensation on them. And so it leaves like, this residue all over the frame and everything. So I'm constantly having to wipe these frames on every single window in the house because they all do it. And there's just so many other issues. Like, this house is not very well insulated, so we have to take all these other extra measures to try to keep, heat out and the cold out during the different seasons. But yeah, it's a headache, but we're appreciating it as we go and praying that we get our own home one day. This is me sitting down with I don't want to say lesson plan, because it's not really a lesson plan per se, but it's like the guide. I can't think of the word of what it's called right now, but it's like the guide of, what we're going to follow for the year, for each, and it breaks down for each of the kids, for the school year. So, I've got it broke down for my kindergartner, my first grader, my second grader, everything that we will go through. And then I've also got it blocked off in there for like, what we're doing each hour. And with this plan, Lord willing, everything goes right, which as a mom, we know that sometimes those schedules that we have in our brains and we're like, yes, we're going to stick to this, it's going to be a perfect day. It does not happen. There are days, and today was one of those, where the schedule did not stick. Like, things were not the kids all pretty much woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. So even though the schedule was so pretty and I did so good on it and I was so excited about it, it did not get, like, we did not get to stuck to it today. And it was just terrible. That little purple book, I'm always constantly getting. It's like my budget book, but it's, you know, also my calendar. So I'm constantly opening it, marking off days. I also use it like my budget book, so we're making sure, you know, bills come out on time and all that. So that's what I was doing there. And then now I'm separating out their work pages for the day. These are just some of the books we use. We have so many different resources that I kind of mix and match and use throughout the year. We do computer stuff. We do all kinds of different books for book work. This one is my daughter's kindergarten book, and she has been flying through this. I'm debating on if I should get her another kindergarten book and just kind of keep trucking with kindergarten, or if maybe I should go ahead and bump her here pretty soon up to first grade. I think I may end up having her do like a maybe like a placement test to see if she's 100% ready for first grade. Cause yeah, we're going with the flow over here is what we're doing. I was flipping through this book though, and I quickly realized after I got her English papers ripped out that because she has flown through so much of it, she had literally finished all of the kindergarten math sections that were in this book. And this book does have like a, I guess like an intro to first grade at the very back of it. So I kind of went back there and ripped out a few of the math pages from that because she is a smart little cookie, and it was just some basic addition and subtraction. So I wasn't too worried about, you know, whether or not she was going to be able to do that because she's already been doing it and she's very, very good and very smart at it. So we're very proud of her, our smart kiddos. But she has been, literally, I bought this, I want to say a month ago, and there's a crap ton of pages in there, and she's already finished almost all of it. So it's to be determined on whether or not we end up grabbing more kindergarten books for her or just moving her up, because this was literally the last book she had, and it is about done for. Once I got hers all finished up, I moved on to my other boys and pulled out all of their English work and their math work as well. So the books that we use, mainly I use book work for like English and math. I am in between like physical hard copy books for like science and social studies kind of work. I just haven't found one that fits for them yet. The ones we have tried, they just weren't a fan of, and honestly, I wasn't either. I have found a few other options that I'm considering, but I gotta do some more research and really dig into that. So what we've been doing as kind of a replacement is we have been watching kind of like documentary stuff when it comes to the history things, and then there have been some really useful, very useful videos on YouTube when it comes to learning like scientific things. And then of course we always do try to do mix in some of those like hands-on like experiments and things that are just fun for smaller kids. So that's how we supplement in for science right now. And then, like I said, history, we kind of watch some documentary things. The library has always been a huge benefit for us. So, you know, we constantly go several times throughout the month. For sure, one time a month, though, because, you know, as homeschoolers, you get to check books out for an entire month. At least that's how it is in my area. And so when we go, you know, we stock up on good reading materials for that entire month. So we'll do, history reads, we'll do the easy readers for my boys to work through. And pretty soon Susie's going to be working on those as well. Mainly I do read aloud with her right now. She does kind of help along the way because she is a super smart girl and she is already picking up on so many words and reading them herself, and I'm so freaking proud of her. But yeah, I do have like my older son. He struggles with dyslexia really bad, and I don't know if y'all have any kids that struggle with it, and I don't know, if y'all are homeschooling with a dyslexic kid, but it is tough. It is rough going when you're trying to teach them to read, because they really do have a difficult time with those letters swapping around on them. He is trugging along though, and he is getting better each and every day, but it's definitely been a struggle for me to adjust to that. One of the other funny struggles that I did not mentally prepare for was I'm right-handed and my husband is right-handed, but we ended up with two of our children being left-handed, so I have had to wrap my brain around teaching them how to write and everything. That's been fun. This was our little breakfast that we did for the day. We did this before we started school, and then here's them just chugging away at their schoolwork, being cutesy little kiddos and smart as can be little stinkers. But yeah, that's a little bit about us, our homeschooling, our life in this little rental that we have, and our aspirations of what we kind of want to do with ourselves, and a little bit about me. This is just me chilling at the end of the day, still in the same dang sweater because I haven't yet to shower. But we are reading Agatha Christie right now. It is called A Holiday for Murder. I'm really enjoying it. My last book I read, though, was Rock, Paper, Scissors, and that was a crazy whirlwind. If you have not read that one yet, I highly, highly recommend it. This is where you're going to find chaos. This is where you're going to find book recommendations. This is where you're going to get to see this author do what she does each and every day as a mom, as a writer, as a reader. I do intend to use this platform for all kinds of good things. And one of those things is being, I'll probably do some reading wrap-ups throughout, at the end of my months. Do a reading wrap up for you guys. I do want to make some book recommendation videos, talk more about my books that I write and the type of books that I write, and my process of how I go through writing and being a mom and a wife and a homemaker. And I'm a sports mom too, so we constantly stay busy over here. There's not much downtime, but every time that I do get downtime, I'm either reading or writing. That's how it is over here. It's wild and crazy, and I hope that y'all will come along for the ride, and I appreciate y'all so much, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back next time. Bye!